Have you ever said something like this to yourself? Self, growing my YouTube channel is awesome, but how do I grow my brand using YouTube? Because I have a feeling that that might be something completely different. And you'd be right. Hey there, my name's Dan Bennett from Video for Entrepreneurs, where, you guessed it, we help entrepreneurs learn how to look and sound great on camera, which helps grow their brands. So when it comes to growing your brand, you have to start, well, at the beginning. What is a brand? Now, I can make 20 videos on branding and not cover the entire topic. There are many competing ideas on what the definition of a brand even is, and you've probably heard many people regurgitating the same sentences over and over. Your brand isn't your logo. Your brand isn't the fonts and colors on your website, which leaves us with, well, then what the hell is it? Now, I am no brand strategist, and my opinion is just one in an ocean of opinions. But there is one definition I really like because it simply makes me think differently about my brand. And here it is. A brand is a product, service, or concept that is publicly distinguished from other products, services, or concepts so that it can be easily communicated and usually marketed. Branding is the process of creating and disseminating, or spreading far and wide, the brand's name, its equities, and its personality. Whew, okay, now that was a mouthful, and also might have left you thinking, great, Dan, thanks, but what do I do with all that information? Here are some thoughts that I have had along the way as I highlighted my favorite parts of that definition. Let's start with publicly distinguished from other products, services, or concepts. Distinguish means to perceive or point out the difference. So we can see that making sure our potential clients and customers know that we are different from other businesses is huge. Psst, I'll tell you a secret. Being yourself so hard that no one can touch it is a secret weapon that you can use to separate yourself from the pack. And the second part of the definition, branding is the process of creating and disseminating the brand's name, its qualities, and personality. We already have separating ourselves from others, and now we spread the brand name and personality as far and wide as possible. How do we do that? Here are some ways that we can distinguish and share our brands with the world. Number 1, focus on your target audience and never ever deviate away from the center of your content solar system, your sun, your big idea, your North Star, your why. What is the thing that gets you out of bed every morning and pushes you when you want to give up? You have to have your finger on the pulse of exactly who your audience is, and you must know what your sun is. My sun at the center of my solar system is helping entrepreneurs learn how to look and sound great on camera. My audience is business owners and professionals who want to leverage the power of video in a way that represents just how awesome they already are, growing that audience, growing their confidence, and ultimately growing their revenue. Number 2, you must use storytelling in all of your communication because it creates the most powerful part that any brand can have, and that is relatability. If you want to distinguish yourself from the rest, you have to give me a reason to care. You have to share your stories in a way that I can understand and relate to. Then give me the opportunity to not only feel connected to you and your brand, but also to share your brand with others very easily. If you can make me care, I'll take your brand everywhere. Number 3, you have to have consistency. It's already hard enough for people to be bombarded by yet another brand that they've never heard of before and to retain that brand in their memory. Your audience needs to bump into your brand over and over, not only to know it exists, but to know what it means to them and if they even want to know any more about it. Consistency is one of the few things in branding that we actually have control over, so get every single mile you can out of it. If you haven't heard of my solar system methodology framework, here's a simple visual and super fast overview. As people follow the flow of gravity from the outermost portions of your solar system towards the center, they should understand your brand more and more as they become closer and closer to your sun, your big idea, your North Star. Now that you know how to effectively grow your brand on YouTube, it's time to watch my Solar System Methodology Framework video to harness the power of your video content efforts and make sure every video that you make serves a purpose and has a gravity that pulls viewers into your world and closer to your sun.